What's up, you guys? SlimXTeamSymmetry here to bring you guys a new video today, and I'm here to do the video that I told you guys in my last video that I'll be bringing to you guys as soon as possible. And this is, I guess, quote unquote, the top 5 decks that I would play or that people like to play if they're not playing the big 3 decks that are in the meta right now. If you guys look, I actually literally called it Screw Meta. I know a lot of people have been, just upset with with the format. The big 3 decks, you guys already know: Dragon's Prophecy, Evil Sworn. Usually, people are playing one of those 3 decks or trying to play one of those 3 decks, and a lot of people are just, they're like many formats. Where decks reign dominant, people want to find, what's the other answer, what's the alternative. A lot of channels have talked about what they feel like the best decks are outside of those 3. And what I like is that the list that I have here are decks that I've actually gotten the chance to use myself, decks that I've seen. The very last one is actually a bonus one, which I'll get into in the last bit of the video. But these are decks that I've seen. Friends of mine have built these decks, played these decks. These decks are just really good. These decks are not always going to be able to beat the big 3 decks of the format right now, but the majority of the time they do very well. So this is just my opinion as a player and the things that I've seen that are like the top 5 decks that I've seen people playing that aren't meta. So we'll get into them. So the first one is Gadgets, Template Gadgets. Template Gadgets, I really like that deck. If I wasn't playing Elemental Dragons, that's probably the deck that I would probably go to next for the fact that I just really like Gadgets. I like the Machina engine. I like the synergy that Template and Kago Tekage have. MCole40 has probably the most efficient list on YouTube now. I'll link that in the description below for anyone that wants to build it. The Redox Gadgets. That's something that I think really makes the gadget deck good, is that Redox added a lot more, synergy, the ability to, special summon Redox, and then being able to, if you need to, make a Draco Sack, make a Big Eye, whatever the situation is, have a 3,000 wall that your opponent can't get past, and it's just really, really cool. Gadgets, you guys already know they're just really good. You never really lose hand advantage, you never really lose advantage, and they're constantly searching each other. They're constantly, getting pluses to your hand, and the deck's just really good. I really like the deck, and it's a pretty inexpensive deck, I guess, outside of the gear. I guess the gear guy and X's, I'm not sure how much those are right now. And then if you do run the Draco Sack and Big Eye, but the deck's really good. I like that deck. It's definitely one of my favorite decks outside of the big 3. I actually like it better than Prophecy and Evil Sworn. So Gadgets is up there for me. I really like Gadgets. The next deck is Constellars. You guys know that I talked about Constellars over and over and over again, and I literally have only one term when it comes to this deck, and it's Walking Compulses, because when I've played against this deck, when I've seen this deck in action, basically just compulsing everything. It's absolutely insane. The deck's really good. The deck's ability to make Shockmaster is what makes it a really good deck. This format, and plus Constellars and Compulses, just really kind of wreck everything for the fact that, okay, you can get out a Draco Sack and they can just compulse it. That sometimes might not be the best thing, putting it back in the extra deck, but I mean, you wasted your 2 summons and then you make a Draco Sack and then it was all for nothing. You don't get your tokens or anything. And Constellars can just, they can spam the field. They can, like I said, go easy Shockmaster, and they can just have a lot of lockdown plays. Like if you have a Shockmaster and Compulse, like it's just really hard to get around, stuff like that. I really like the deck. I don't have the deck myself, but I've seen people play it. It's definitely a deck that I'd put up there as definitely one of the best if you want to say going against the meta decks. I really like this deck a lot. The next one is Heroes. Heroes they've never really left. Heroes are basically just like a staple in Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what format it is. The OCG always finds ways to, bring this deck back, keep this deck alive. And what I like about this deck, there's multiple things I like about this deck. There's many routes you can go with the deck. You can go the Bubble Beat route. You can go the Hero Lives route. You can go basically the Gemini Stun, or whatever you want, Light Stun version of the deck. And what's cool, like personally, I like the bubble beat version for the ability to OTK, the ability to make easy Shockmasters, make really quick miracle plays. I like Hero Lives personally. A lot of people are kind of iffy on that card for the life point payment, but when you have OTK and like complete lockdown, it's just really good. And Bubble Man is just amazing. You guys already know. Just all the amazing things that it can do. What's cool about the beatdown version is that Alias being a 1900 is just really solid. Thunder King's a solid card. Gemini Sparks gets rid of problem cards, you know, just all that basic stuff. And I just really like heroes. I think heroes are definitely up there as one of the decks that can take a lot of decks by surprise because their ability to just, if they're running the OTK version, their ability to spam monsters in OTK and create a lock is pretty consistent, and they do it the majority of the time. So I think it's just a really good deck. The next deck is Infernities. Infected Xenon had his Infernity deck profile on my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I used to love Infernities. Absolutely, just like I loved Infernities. They were my absolute, probably one of my favorite decks of all time. And they've been seeing like a resurgence, I guess if you want to use that term, at YCSs. Multiple players have topped with different variants. You can either go the Synchro route or the XYZ route. The deck's just really cool. A lot of people are iffy to play Infernities for the fact that if they don't like playing without a hand, but the deck's pretty explosive. You know, the problem I have with this deck though, the main problem is that it really gets hurt by Maxi and Effect Veiler, and I see that's one thing that can be a problem if this is one of the decks you pick up, is that if you do play against a Prophecy deck, or you play against Evil Sworn deck or a Dragon Ruler deck, majority of the time they're going to be maining Maxi or Veiler. I know I've seen Evil Sworns are starting to main 2 to 3 Maxis, like that's just like a staple. Dragons main 3, Prophecies main 2 to 3, and that's the thing, is that Maxi can just really hurt this deck, and that's one thing. And I mean, along with breakthrough skills and stuff like that, it can hurt the deck. But outside of that, I think the deck's just really cool. I really like the deck. Like, it's just a personal deck that I've always liked. I just wish that you know, the format was right for it to be on top again, but it's definitely a really fun deck. And like I said, you can go different routes with it, whether going the Synchro route or the XYZ route. The next deck, fifth deck, is Firefist, Rabbit Firefist, whatever you want to call it. This is a deck I actually did run, and I liked it. Like, it was interesting because I wanted to play it for the fact that, you know, you could run Rescue Rabbit, and I liked the ability to, you know, go into Gene Warp Werewolves, you know, swing for 4,000, make a Tiger King, get a Tanky, do all those cool things, and I like the ability, you know, of Bear's just popping ability. Bear's ability to get around Ophion is just really cool, and that's what I liked a lot about this deck. A lot of people have kind of just disregarded this deck for the fact that we didn't get any real support in like the newest pack. I mean, we did get Leopard, and there is a way to play the deck going the, what is it, those synchros, um, the Fire King, and the other one, the synchro route with the deck and with rekindling and stuff like that. The deck's just it's not up to the par that it should be, like compared to the OCG. The OCG has the 3-axis and 4-axis build of this deck, and I feel that that would just kind of sucked, is the fact that we didn't get any real support for this deck. We didn't get Chicken, we didn't get Wolfberg, we didn't get anything, and I felt that that was just, you know, kind of a bad move. I think that they should have at least brought more support to this deck so that the deck could compete in this format. You know, don't get me wrong, the deck can compete depending on how it's built and who plays it, but it's definitely, I feel it got, you know, kind of just like the hammer for the fact that it didn't get anything. So that's one thing that I just really didn't like, is that no real support for the Firefist deck. But hopefully in time we do get Chicken, and the deck can, you know, rise to being in one of the top spots again. But the deck's still really good. The deck's a really good anti-meta deck, being able to, you know, when they go, you know, summon Bear, you know, after a Tenki set like 5, you know, a lot of people are dropping MST. I mean, most people main heavy, but it's 1 card. So, I mean, you can really be locked down. So I definitely wouldn't rule this deck out. So that's it for the main 5 decks I wanted to talk about. And the last deck is just a bonus one. The last deck is literally anti-meta. Fossil Dyna, Kaiku, Imperial Iron Wall. This was a deck that I saw that top forward, I believe it was the Spanish Nationals or something like that. And it literally was, just think anti-meta, and it was there. There were main deck Imperial Iron Walls, there were Compulses, there were Kaikus, there were Fossil Dynas, Thunder Kings, Banishers, you name it, it was there. It was a very interesting deck. It was completely made to just like destroy um, dragons, destroy Evil Sworn, get around pretty much everything. You know, a Fossil Dyna and a, you know, Imperial Iron Wall is basically like, that's it. You know, with more cards, basically it against dragons. Same thing with Kaiku. Kaiku has just become one of the best cards in the format right now. Anyone that runs spell books, of course, mains. It's just a really solid card in general. So yeah, so that's basically my whole little analysis on decks you could be playing if you're not playing the big 3. I really like all of these decks. The one deck I actually do want to probably pick up and learn to play properly is Constellars, for the fact that I've played every other one of these decks at a certain period or time. Constellars is the only deck I haven't picked up, and it just looks really cool. It looks really consistent. I've just seen a lot of good players playing the deck, and just it looks really interesting. So I really like the deck. But anyways, if I left out any decks that you guys wanted to see, definitely comment below, and I can add them into another video. I'm gonna try to bring back the good, the bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh on a couple decks. I got a request for battling boxers. I had absolutely nothing about that deck. I gotta be straight up honest, you guys. So I have to look into that. But it looks like a fun deck. I think it's like, it reminds me of Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee. So that's what it it just reminds me of the Pokemon. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up, and comment below with any other decks you think that I should have included here, and your thoughts on the different variants and routes you can go with these decks. Like I said, there's many routes to go with heroes. There's different routes you can go with Infernities, whether you're going Synchro or XYZ based. And if you like regular template gadgets or Redox gadgets, I think Redox gadgets has really given a lot of power to the deck. So it's definitely probably my number one choice for decks to play if you're not playing one of the big three. But anyways, comment below and leave your thoughts, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.